Okay, come forward.
I'm Ben Johnson from the Stevedores and 100 Monkeys.
Justin Turner from Tin Tin Can.
Dustin Monk from Tin Tin Can.
Chris Barron, also from Tin Tin Can.
Tom Owens from Tin Tin Can.
It's like a
How did you
AA
guys all
meeting.
meet and all that kind of good stuff? Let's talk about that for a minute.
Sean and I met in college, which is actually when I started playing music. Sean taught me one of the first songs on guitar I ever learned, which was a Ben Harper song. And then I was the manager, the pseudo manager of Sean's college band, Food.
Well, I need to ask you for some advice.
It was Food with 3 O's.
Yes.
The 3 O's?
Yeah, that was before I played drums or anything. And then we formed the Cactus in college with Jake Miller and Adam and Spencer Bell, and that's actually how we all ultimately met up.
Yeah, we all know each other kind of through Spencer and Pierce, who's not here, our drummer. Went to high school with Spencer, and I actually went to a different high school. I used to just kind of come out and watch the band. Make a really long story short, just kind of met up eventually somewhere down the road through later college with these guys, and started playing music together. And in terms of these guys sitting around here, Pierce and I actually moved out to Chicago and found Justin on Craigslist. Nonetheless, he's actually out of probably we must have gone to maybe over 100 singers testing out people and listening to people online, and he was the first one out of all those that we found, so we ended up meeting up, and it just kind of worked. So at some point we all met up. I don't really remember exactly when, but that's how we got together. So it's a short story version.
Yeah.
If you guys have a couple hours later, maybe we'll tell you the rest. That's about it.
Does anybody have any direct questions for the guys?
For Ben, can you tell me where you got the idea for Sleeping Giants? Love Sleeping Giants. How did that develop?
Ben Grobner wrote that, and we were. Jackson was actually up in Vancouver filming, and we were practicing in our practice space in LA, and we just gotten our first our own practice space. Actually, no, we didn't have a key to the door to that practice space, but it was better than what we had before. He just started that little, he had that doo-dee, doo-dee. It was I think we should have this intro, and it's I don't know, I just wanted the drums to kind of make it move. I was actually kind of thinking Gorillaz, kind of.
It's
I wanted
really
to have
good.
that sort of groove. And then, Jared made the bass work, and then we actually didn't get to work on it with Jay for a long time, and then when we finally did, he just kind of put all these guitar things, and actually I'm really excited for you to hear the album version that's going to be on the new album, because it has all this other stuff going on that we haven't been able to do live yet. So.
Awesome.
I'm actually curious about Keep Awake. Where did that come from?
Yeah.
That was a song that Jay wrote for someone he used to live with, one of his old roommates. Things kind of got a little tense, I guess. But we kind of had that first bit, and then I think Ben kind of came up with Ben G came up with the chorus part. It just kind of came together. That was one of those songs that they were sitting there, and it was kind of well, how about this song? And then about 15 minutes later, the song was just happening.
It is also. It's very contagious.
It is.
We can't quit singing it.
Recording it. As a reading teacher who gets to teach 4th and 5th graders the word masticate, about justification to SRA teachers everywhere.
Awesome. Well, you should thank Spencer. That was his idea. It's I think we should call it Tamuawak, period. So, what does Tamuawak mean? But it's a masticate.
Questions?
What are some of your musical influences?
Well, with me, obviously Spencer. I mean, the Stevedores really a huge influence on me personally. With some of these guys, I mean, how about you, Dusty?
Well, I mean, obviously, there's obvious influences like the Beatles or Bob Dylan. Leonard Cohen, I grew up on. Some Roy Orbison.
Roy Orbison's amazing. Have you ever seen the Roy Orbison and Friends concert?
Yes.
On PBS sometimes.
Yes.
Amazing. Like everybody's there. Everybody, like Tom Waits is there.
Tom Waits.
Bruce Springsteen is there. Elvis Costello is there. They're all playing with Roy Orbison. It's awesome. It's a sick show.
Tom's
There's
actually
like a bunch of influences right there.
Tom's actually joining us for the weekend. He's in another band out in Chicago called Pet Lions. And how would you sum Pet Lions up?
It's kind of like garage pop, I guess. But a little more dancey, I guess. I don't know.
So he's got a bunch more influences that he's bringing out here. But definitely to kind of sum it up, Stevie Ray Spencer fell for me. And growing up, my dad played a lot of blues music, and I'm into the old stuff like Hendrix and a lot of new stuff too. It's just kind of tough to delve into right now, but pretty much sums it up.
How would you describe the sounds of the bands, Tin Can, Theodores, Monkeys?
Well, actually, that's pretty tricky. It's a hard thing to answer.
It's just rock and roll.
Yeah, that's the easy way out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like abstract things. Like I think Dan described the Stevie Rose once as music to rob banks too. That's a huge compliment. But
so I know whenever you're in a band, your band somewhat becomes part of your family as well. So how do you all deal with on certain days when, say, a certain band member just isn't being a part of the band anymore, or they're having an off time or whatever? How does the band deal with that when the show must go on?
Give them more beer.
Wrong answer.
So far, they've asked, Uncle Larry, they've asked what were your influences and how would you describe your music?
My influences in music? Is that the question?
Yeah, who influenced you? Who's influenced you the most?
Well, there's so many individuals that, you just don't want to just be selfish and just pick no one. So I'm just going to go on an overall general thing. Music itself, period, just influenced me. It's very, in fact, my first trouble I got into when I was an A student all through school. But my first time sent to the principal office was because of this. Go to the principal. That was me. So music really had a big impact, influence. And then I had the opportunity to meet and be performing with greatnesses just like I have been. Come on, you just can't just say boo-boo to that.